Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. It was a mellow weekend here. Saturday, I did nothing but watch college football, and it was a good day. But sun was out, got to get some vitamin D, eat some good food, and can't complain. Anyhow, today I want to talk to you about a raw food diet, bad information, and kind of like not seeing the forest for the trees. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. And before I get started, as I've mentioned before, I'm sharing stuff on my meditation practice and just sharing some meditation things in general over on my Facebook page. There's a link to my Facebook page below. Page, not group. Page, not group. Page, not group. Say it 3 times and people will listen. Oh, and also down there, I have my email address in the link below. And like I said on the last video, after that little outage with Facebook and Instagram, not that I think they're going anywhere, it just made me think like I'd like to have contact of people, not relying on these platforms. So go down below if you're interested in signing up for my future newsletter, and just send me an email and just say, hey, put me on your list. So, raw food diet, bad information. What is that all about? And what's the flowery language? Not seeing the forest for the trees. Basically, not seeing the forest for the trees is just an expression. I'm sure many of you've heard it before, which talks about getting too caught up in detail and not seeing the big picture. Every little detail. And this is something, and this is why also too you'll see in the title there, the bad is in parentheses. I'll mention stuff from time to time, and this happens a lot of times like on Instagram or somewhere, and I've noticed it. I've noticed it for 9 years, and not just as something I say. I noticed this thought process to what a lot of people say. And that is excluding sources because you don't agree with every single thing they say. I see that all the time. I'll mention somebody's name who has a fabulous amount of knowledge about this lifestyle or indirectly could help with this lifestyle. And a lot of people will pick one thing that the person believes or does, and that seems to negate everything they've got. And people negate some really good sources out there. I've seen this done. I've seen this with a number of people. Well, he doesn't do this. And I'm like, yeah, but he's got more life-saving information than all your leaders out there in the raw community. And I just can't stress anymore. I've mentioned it before. It's something Bruce Lee said when he was, when he developed his own martial art. Now, he was proficient in a number of martial arts, but he created his own martial arts, and he took the bits and pieces that he liked out of the various martial arts to create this one. And there's a quote, I would misquote it, I don't know how exactly it goes, and it basically says, take what you can use, discard the rest, and move on. We don't need to have a discussion about everything. If you see something that's got some good information in it, go toward the positive stuff. Go towards the stuff you can use. Go to what makes sense to you. And if there's something that doesn't make sense, just discard it. But you don't throw the whole book out. You don't throw a TED Talk out. You don't throw this person out, this source of information, simply because they have some little something that you don't agree with 100%. That's just not logical whatsoever. I see it with so many people, and like, if you have that mentality, your sources are going to get very, very limited. And that's what I see. And that's, to be honest with you, is why I'm kind of an independent in the raw world. I'm not fully raw. I eat some cooked food, but I'm mostly raw. Have been raw for long, long periods of time in the tropics, but I just don't feel comfortable interacting, getting all cozy with the raw community because I just don't like the process of most people. I've got my little core group that I reach out to and check things with and verify things with. Melissa is very knowledgeable. She's very knowledgeable on the science. She can remember things. She's younger than me, has a better brain than me, can spit the facts out. But I know the facts. I just can't like sit down and go, oh, blah, 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 because I can't keep all that stuff on my hard drive. But from time to time, I've got Melissa and 3 or 4 other people that are very educated in this lifestyle that I'll just check in with to say, am I thinking right about this? Here's this subject here or whatever it is. And I'm like, usually I've got it right just kind of by the way that I do my lifestyle, the way that I study, the way that I have learned how to feed my body. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of information I've learned over the last 9 years that I just haven't kept on my hard drive up here. But yeah, so there's very few raw people that I really resonate with, really interact with and whatever, not because I'm judging them. And I'll still take whatever information, what good, what positive I can take from them, but they're just too dogmatic. It's person based. Please, one thing I would recommend is definitely do not follow some crazy person on YouTube that looks like me, possibly, and that be your only source of information. Nobody should be doing this lifestyle. Let me repeat this. I don't say things with much certainty most of the time, but nobody should be doing this lifestyle, getting their information from one source. That's like a cult. That's some cray-cray right there. That's like, and I see it all the time and you can always tell who a particular raw foodist is or high carb raw vegan is by who their guru is and who they're talking about all the time. And too many people do that. That's all they do. They share stuff from so-and-so. They talk about so-and-so. Well, so-and-so says this, so-and-so says that. And once again, a lot of times the so-and-sos they're quoting, I'm not totally writing them off. I've gotten information from them. Even people let's go to even a more extreme level there. There's probably some information out there if you'll have a little bit more open mind on what you're willing to read or willing to see, because you can always, like, I'm intelligent enough to read anything, to see anything, and discern whether this is something that is useful to me or not. And there's even sources and people and books like that out there. I've had certain books, or I've read certain books over the last 9 years, or I've seen certain videos and stuff that I disagree with about 75% of what they're saying. There's 25% that I agree with. In other words, sometimes I don't want to get too Pollyanna here, but it's also the way you focus things in life. I tend to go towards I try to, that used to not be my MO, but I try to look for the positive stuff in almost everything and pull that out instead of just discounting something, throwing it away just because, I see something that I don't agree with. If I did that, I can't tell you. I cannot tell you. I can truly not tell you any one source that I read that I agree with 100%, or that I agree in the application of how I do my raw diet 100%. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that I think I'm better, their knowledge is less, they're wrong, I'm right, they're wrong. Doesn't have to be like that. Like I say, like I use Melissa and Nate a lot because like I said, I've been isolated the past few years and don't have a lot of raw food friends. Well, I've got a few more online too, but like they don't eat like me. I've mentioned that. I've tried to point that out in the past, and I want you to watch her stuff and see the differences in us, and know that I'm like looking at her. I would never judge her in a million years. I think her results, Nate's results, they are like they go without saying. Chris Kendall, another guy you're probably like, why do you mention the same people all the time? Because the circle is small. Chris Kendall's one of the few people like that too. I don't eat like him. He's a good bit different than me, but I would never dare with the way, Chris is a G. He's been doing this. I've been doing it 9 years. I don't know how. I bet he's up to 15 plus now. And the results speak for themselves. So to end this off, I don't have to, belabor the point. It's just be a little bit more open-minded. I'm not telling you who the sources are. I'm not telling you who to listen to. I'm just talking about the process. Open your mind a little bit more and learn how to mine things that you can use, and not be like, oh, well, so-and-so, he doesn't believe in this, so I can't listen to anything he says. That is idiocy. And that's idiocy in pretty much anything in life, not just this raw food. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you here middle of the week. Peace.